A political controversy has erupted in Poland after lawmaker Włodzimierz Skalik called for a major shift in Warsaw's approach to the Ukraine war. In remarks posted online and delivered in Parliament, Skalik demanded that Ukraine be cut off from funding and that the key logistics hub in Jasionka, used for Western military aid transfers, be shut down.
Stripping Zelensky of the order is the first step. It's time to take the next ones. Ukraine must be cut off from funding and Jasionka must be shut down. Migration policy must be reviewed and border controls tightened. And most importantly, we must stop meddling in this war. This is not our war.
Skalik also intensified debate over Ukraine's symbolic ties with Poland by questioning President Volodymyr Zelensky's receipt of the Order of the White Eagle, the country's highest state honor. He described the decision to award Zelensky as a scandal and argued that the honor should be reserved strictly for individuals with direct merit to Poland.
First thing in the morning, I called from the same rostrum on all deputies to prepare a resolution that will encourage President Narocki to take action to strip Volodymyr Zelensky of Poland's highest honor, the Order of the White Eagle. This is an unbelievable scandal. Andrzej Duda awarded this highest distinction to a person who has outstanding merits in all sorts of anti-Polish endeavors. Volodymyr Zelensky, if he remains among those honored with this highest Polish award, will dishonor that list. He will dishonor this special order, which should be given exclusively to individuals with outstanding civil and military merits for Poland, not for Ukraine.
Ukraine's foreign ministry has responded to sharp criticism from Polish leaders after President Volodymyr Zelensky approved naming an elite Special Operations Forces unit after the WWE-era Ukrainian Insurgent Army, or UPA. The ministry said it regrets the political backlash and stressed that Ukraine remains committed to resolving historical disputes with Poland through dialogue and cooperation.
Our history proves that only Moscow benefits from disputes between Ukrainians and Poles. We cannot allow quarrels over the past to undermine our resistance to a common enemy now. Ukraine is not avoiding this conversation. It responds constructively to requests from the Polish side regarding exhumations, is building a dialogue between historians and experts step by step, and is seeking to engage in dialogue on sensitive pages of the past without politicization.
Spokesperson Georgi Tiki said Kyiv and Warsaw have made significant efforts over the past year and a half to address painful historical issues, including exhumations of Volyn tragedy victims and renewed historian-level dialogue. He added that Ukraine does not intend to offend Poland, stressing that the UPA reference is linked to resistance against Moscow rather than against the Polish people.
I propose that one of the points should be to revoke President Zelensky's Order of the White Eagle. Unfortunately, President Zelensky has demonstrated that Ukraine, in terms of its mentality regarding the glorification of bandits and murderers from the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, UPA, is not ready to be part of the European family. Because in the European family, bandits and murderers who killed women and children, who murdered Poles, cannot be glorified. In the European family, such bandits cannot be glorified. The UPA cannot be glorified. And I accepted this with great sadness.
Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has issued a stark warning over rising tensions between Poland and Ukraine, urging both sides not to become trapped in historical disputes. In a sharply worded message, Tusk said arguments over the past could cost both nations their future, warning that someone else will win if divisions continue deepening.
If we quarrel about the past, someone else will win the future. The president of Ukraine should finally understand this. The Poles too, before it's too late.
A major diplomatic row is brewing between Poland and Ukraine after Warsaw moved to review whether President Volodymyr Zelensky should be stripped of the country's highest honor, the Order of the White Eagle.
I took the Polish people's call very seriously, and on June 8th, a meeting of the Order of the White Eagle Council will be held, and I propose that one of the points be stripping President Zelensky of his Order of the White Eagle.
The issue is set to be discussed on June 8th, after Polish President Karol Nawrocki proposed that the Council of the Order examine Zelensky's conduct, citing what he called public outrage and concerns raised within Poland. At the center of the controversy is Zelensky's reported approval of honors referencing the heroes of the UPA, tied to Ukrainian nationalist groups such as the OUN, whose wartime legacy remains deeply sensitive in Poland due to historical conflicts. Nawrocki has argued that such actions amount to the glorification of OUN activists, which he described as critically unacceptable, adding that the matter is now for the Order's governing council to decide.